was a time when Wesley Snipes had Hollywood in a chokehold. He wasn't just another actor. He was a powerhouse who could command up to $10 million for a single film. With razor-sharp martial arts skills fused with undeniable charisma, he ruled comedy, action, and drama all at once. One moment he was a baseball player, the next a ruthless kingpin, and then a drag queen. Versatility was his trademark. Sharing the screen with legends like Robert De Niro and Sean Connery, Snipes was booking up to 3 films a year. He was everywhere. But today, he's no longer Hollywood's leading man. He wasn't even invited back to reprise his iconic role in Marvel's reboot of Blade, so what went wrong? How did Wesley Snipes go from box office gold to Hollywood exile? This is the story of how he destroyed his own career. After a small role in Michael Jackson's 1987 Bad music video, Snipes hit a rough patch. To survive, he worked as a therapeutic masseuse and a valet driver. His big break came when HBO cast him in Vietnam War Story, which led to his breakout role as Willie Mays Hayes in the 1989 classic Major League. The film, hailed as one of the greatest sports comedies ever, debuted at #1 and grossed over $75 million worldwide. Naturally, the studio wanted a sequel. But fame had already gotten to Snipes. His co-star Corbin Burnson later recalled telling him about Major League Desetu, only to be brushed off by Wesley with, "You're gonna do that?" The arrogance stung. Despite early struggles, Wesley signed with one of Hollywood's top agencies. At first, execs claimed his dark complexion and unconventional looks would never make him a star. Some even said they wouldn't hire anyone darker than Denzel Washington, but Wesley smashed through that ceiling. Against his agent's advice, he took the risky role of Nino Brown in New Jack City, and it catapulted him into superstardom. By the early 90s, he was unstoppable, earning praise and respect across the industry. But then reality hit hard. In 1991, while filming The Water Dance, Wesley borrowed a Mustang leased by the production company. Someone on set mistakenly reported the car stolen. That night, LAPD officers pulled him over in downtown Los Angeles. He was forced to lie face down on the pavement, spread-eagled, with a gun pointed at his head. For 2 hours, he was detained without explanation. The experience, which he called the most humiliating of his life, left a permanent scar. Black Hollywood rallied behind him, but as his career advanced, many began to feel he had abandoned the very community that had once defended him. By the mid-1990s, Wesley's film roles stirred controversy. Black audiences overlooked his interracial romance in Spike Lee's Jungle Fever, but when One Night Stand arrived in 1997, frustration grew. The real damage came not from his roles, but from his words. In a 1993 Vibe interview, Snipes made deeply offensive comments about black women, claiming relationships with white women were easier and less confrontational. Later, in Ebony magazine, he praised dating an Asian woman, suggesting successful black men avoided black women to escape conflict. His remarks alienated a huge part of his fan base, leaving wounds that never fully healed. Then came redemption. In 1998, Wesley became Marvel's original vampire hunter in Blade. The trilogy made him one of cinema's first black superheroes, grossing hundreds of millions worldwide. But behind the scenes of Blade Trinity, chaos brewed. Snipes accused director David Goyer and New Line Cinema of racism, breach of contract, and cheating him out of millions. Crew members described him as isolated, refusing to communicate except through sticky notes, and constantly clashing with co-stars Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. Rumors of substance abuse circulated. Snipes defended himself, claiming racial targeting, but the damage was done. Major studios began distancing themselves. By the early 2000s, Wesley Snipes' personal finances were spiraling out of control. Despite once earning $10 million per film plus a percentage of profits, poor money management, extravagant spending, and bad business decisions left him vulnerable. In 2002, the William Morris Agency filed a lawsuit against him over an unpaid $500,000 loan. A year later, his Florida mansion, a sprawling 7,300 square foot property worth nearly $1.7 million, went into foreclosure and was sold at auction for a fraction of the price. But the real bombshell came in 2007, when Snipes was indicted for massive tax fraud. Prosecutors accused him of failing to file income tax returns between 1999 and 2004, cheating the U.S. government out of nearly $12 million in unpaid taxes. Court documents revealed bizarre letters Wesley had sent to the IRS, insisting he was exempt from paying taxes because of constitutional loopholes. The government argued he was part of a fraudulent organization that coached clients to avoid taxes through fake schemes. While he escaped felony convictions, he was found guilty on 3 misdemeanor counts and sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. On top of that, he was slapped with millions in fines. Wesley claimed he was misled by advisors, but judges rejected his appeals. The man who once lived like a king was now a federal inmate, spending 28 months behind bars. When Wesley Snipes walked out of prison in 2013, Hollywood was no longer the same place he had once dominated. The industry had moved on, and new stars had taken his place. Snipes attempted a comeback, landing roles in films like The Expendables 3, where he poked fun at his prison sentence, and later appearing in Spike Lee's Chirac and Netflix's hit miniseries True Story alongside Kevin Hart. But the golden era of Snipes headlining major blockbusters was over. His reputation as difficult to work with, combined with the lingering shadow of his tax scandal, made studios hesitant to invest in him. The ultimate blow came in 2019, when Marvel Studios announced a long-awaited reboot of Blade. Fans everywhere expected Wesley to reclaim the role that had cemented him as one of cinema's first black superheroes. Instead, Marvel chose 2-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali. For many, it was the final confirmation that Wesley Snipes was no longer Hollywood's go-to action star. Publicly, he congratulated Ali and claimed he was at peace with the decision, saying, "I don't feel any loss in not working with Marvel. Blade was white belt stuff, we're black belts now." But behind the scenes, many speculated he was deeply hurt. The role he had made iconic was moving forward without him, leaving Snipes watching from the sidelines as a spectator instead of the star. Wesley Snipes' career is one of the most dramatic Hollywood stories ever told. A meteoric rise, followed by a fall marked by controversy, scandal, and regret. At his peak, he was untouchable. Action hero, martial artist, versatile actor, and box office draw. He gave the world unforgettable performances in New Jack City, White Men Can't Jump, and of course Blade. Yet arrogance, troubling comments about race and relationships, clashes with co-stars, and financial recklessness stripped away the goodwill he had earned. Even South Africa declared him undesirable after he was caught traveling with a forged passport, a symbol of how far his global reputation had sunk. Still, Snipes hasn't disappeared completely. He's found smaller roles, written a spiritual novel called The Talent of God, and continues to pursue projects. He remains married to South Korean artist Nak-young Park, raising 4 children together. Some fans believe Hollywood will never fully forgive him, while others argue all it takes is the right role to restore his star power. After all, charisma like his doesn't fade with age. As one producer once said, "Once you're a movie star, you're always a movie star." Whether Wesley ever lands that one big comeback is uncertain, but his story stands as both a cautionary tale and a reminder of how quickly Hollywood can crown a king and just as quickly cast him aside.